Welcome back to Fashion Sustain, the third and final day of our conference, powered by Neonit. The next panel or interview, I should say, is already on standby as we speak. And maybe as a way of introduction, I don't know about you, your current mood, your wardrobe situation, but man, do I need new clothes. I mean, there's a psychological reason, of course. I want to get rid of my lockdown look and the same old, where there's a physical reason too. There are some nasty COVID kilos right around my waist that make it necessary for me to buy new clothes. And of course, I could, in order to search for more sustainable options for my wardrobe, I could go to Kastner und Oehler. We've heard what they have in store, and that's our topic for right now. I could be drawn to a new breed of niche boutiques, either on or offline or both. They have found a success in selling and working with sustainable fashion brands in the recent past. And we will, in a second, introduce you to one of them. And we'll discuss the advantages of niche retail for brands, for consumers, and maybe for the movement, and the difficulties that these smaller players face in an increasingly crowded marketplace. So please welcome to your screens Bernd Hausmann. He's the founder and CEO of Glore, with a retail store in Nuremberg and, of course, an online boutique. And Glore, for those of you who are wondering, stands for Globally Responsible Fashion. I don't know him yet, but I think we'll probably get along because I read on the Glore website that we share a love for pistachio ice cream. So that's a good start. Welcome, Bernd Hausmann, to Fashion Sustain. Now, you've started this journey many years ago, and I think it was about 16 brands that you had in your first offering in 2007, I believe. Now, of course, you have almost like the world is your oyster, many brands to choose from, and I think many of our audience members are probably wondering, how do you do that? Because space is limited in the physical store that you're running in Nuremberg, but of course on the website, because the bigger it gets, the harder it's to tease items and for customers to find it. How do you do it? How do you curate it? But also, how do you offer as many options as your customers want?
Like, I started 16 years ago, and at the beginning it was there was no choice. We just have to take what it's on the market. So it's a total change in our business, because now we are in the position that we really curate our styles. And the longer we are on the market and the longer we are doing that,
you probably find new categories to filter through the myriad of brands out there, right? I mean, you heighten your sensibility in curating.
Yeah. So do you hear me now, or?
I hear you perfectly. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So now it's more about styles. It's also obviously about sustainability, but the range is a lot bigger than about 5, 10, 15 years ago. And now it's time to really do it like the conventional market. We can think in in totally different lifestyle issues. Like, do you want to be more street? Do you want to be more fashionable? And I think it's the time that also our sustainable fashion scene then can separate in different styles of the shops. And I think this is good for the customer. And it's also more interesting for us that we really have a choice to design our shops with different different styles and yeah, to have
Different worlds. It's not just,
different
oh, that's the green
kind
corner over
of
there, and there are like, I don't know, 5 labels to choose from, but you can really think in.
communication to our customers and wanna sell there.
So you can really think in worlds, basically, right? In lifestyle worlds, like the conventional um, retailers are already doing, because there's so much on offer. But still, how important is it to say, for example, no to brands, right? How to not become overwhelmed, and how to stay true to your selection, and through the image of Glore. How much do you have to say no?
Oh, now we have, unfortunately, we almost have, I don't know, every day we have to say no, because there's so many brands on the market, and obviously we are working together with some markets since years, or brands since years, and I think it's kind um, of our sustainable way of life, that we try to build long-term relationships with our suppliers and also with our brands. So I think it's very hard for the new brands to come in the market. It's kind of similar to the conventional market. So you have to be really good or really different, that you have the chance to, yeah, to
Stick
find
out.
space in the shops, or in all the sustainable concept stores.
Yeah, just briefly, we heard from some of you in the audience that sometimes the picture gets stuck, or you don't hear anything. We're working to fix that, and hope it gets better as our conversation progresses. And you've already mentioned it's harder for brands to stick out in a more and more crowded marketplace. As a niche retailer or boutique retailer, how important are you for especially smaller brands without the big marketing budgets of competitors in the conventional space? How important are you in a role as well, as a promoter, basically, of maybe unknown brands to a broader audience in the sustainable consumer space?
We understand ourselves as a promoter and to tell the stories of the smaller brands in our shops, and obviously we kind of a marketing for them too. And there's so many nice hidden stories behind our brands, which we like to tell. So I think it's for both sides, on brand side and also for us as a retailer. It's very interesting for the customer that we have all the stories and we can tell that. And obviously it's not like going in a big shopping mall where you don't have any people who can, where you can ask, they can help you or tell you stories about the brand, to help our customers and yeah, to introduce all the brands and the styles and also the story behind. So I the two, I think
Yeah, some technical difficulties I hear. I
it's kind
hope
of a mark, and
we
so
can keep you online and with us. Oh, okay, you're with us in picture and of course in spirit and voice now. Is there, or is that just me as a journalist thinking in cliches, is there more a kind of a family feeling between you as a smaller retailer and smaller up-and-coming sustainable brands, or is it basically business as everywhere? Are you a happy, sustainable family with the brands that you carry?
so we believe that and we hope it is like that, but obviously the bigger the market gets, so the more business-like the people react and act. So yeah, I still believe that we are kind of a nice family, but to be honest, yeah, the last years go in a different direction, but there's still a different kind of working together with our brands, and we have to be kind of careful that we believe in, yeah, in acting different and
Keep that
building up
Yeah, keep that grassroots spirit alive, so to speak. Yeah, when the family gets too big, you only see them once a day for Thanksgiving or Christmas. On the customer side, you already told us that you're there to, of course, for your own business, promote brands that might not be so well known. How's the interaction of your with your customers different than maybe bigger retailers can afford time-wise? Are you more connected to your customer base?
We are definitely more connected in our shops. I would say in the online shop, it's kind of the same, but in our shops, we definitely have more time for our customer because, yeah, there are more people working in our shops compared to the bigger department stores. So I believe that we have time to talk to them, to talk to our customers, and to help them finding the right outfit in this sustainable struggle, and also in this classic, classic questions. How should I dress? And yeah, is there a way to dress myself sustainable? And we try to help our customers, because most of the customers definitely don't dress 100% sustainable, and it's also helping them, to getting more sustainable wardrobe.
And to getting more educated, right? I mean, your job is also as a promoter, as an educator. From the live chat, we're getting a question on do you ship internationally? I mean, you already mentioned that you have a store in Nuremberg, a physical store, and your website with Glore. Are you reaching an international customer base? Is the question.
Yeah, we reach it with our online store. We have actual 9 concept stores. We also have 2 concept stores in Switzerland, in Lucerne, and also in Zurich. So obviously we reach people there, and yeah, we reach them in our online shop at glore.de. Yeah.
There was also a question about labels, and that would have been my next question. What are the hottest labels in your small empire that you run? The hottest sustainable labels, maybe even new to our professional audience here.
I mean, since the last seasons, there are always the classical, I would say the classical 5, like it's Armed Angels, it's Veja, it's Nudie Jeans, and almost the same brands which all you can find in all green concept stores. But obviously the more and more there are smaller labels coming with totally different stories. So in our shops, like I would say Thinking Moo, Chain and Chun, there are so many nice new and
exciting labels.
Exciting labels, obviously, and so there are so many brands on the market. I had a list till 10 years ago where I put all the new brands, and it's now it's not possible to have
now it's
this
a book
list anymore.
And as we have so many professional buyers, suppliers with us in the virtual audience, which brand do you want to carry? Maybe this is your chance to reach out to them and say, hey, ring me up. I like your stuff. Who are you fighting to get on board, or are you still in the process of contacting them to establish a relationship?
I think there are 2 points they should focus on. The first one is obviously sustainability. I always like when there are new ways of concepts of sustainability and new ways of doing or organizing the supply chain. This is obviously one point we are very focused on. If there is any new interpretation of producing clothes, whatever that means, in a circle, in a different way of acting with the suppliers. And the second one is obviously style, because sustainable fashion scene, I think we have a big goal to be more fashionable for our customers. And I think the last years we really get better and improved a lot, but there are so many things missing in the collection of a whole collection. And so yeah, focus on style and
For example,
yeah,
what,
on
if
the
I may
market.
interrupt, what are you missing? What do you need? This is your
Look at
chance. What do you
look
need?
at yourself. Look at yourself, what you're wearing today, and how can you where did you buy it? Where can you buy a very nice suit? So it's
Okay.
almost impossible. So I think there is a lack in the market to offer sustainable suits for men, as an example.
Okay,
And there
great.
are so many. Yeah, so
Yeah, we don't
this is
need, of
just
course,
one example.
that many suits right now. And the sweatpants offerings from sustainable brands are great, but I get your point. So suit brands, contact Bernd Hausmann. I want to focus on the future with you for a second, because what's your perspective? Will niche retailers like yourself have to grow even bigger? To make more money, to establish themselves, and of course to fend off competitors like the big retailers who are now, of course, jumping on board and creating own spaces in their stores for sustainable brands. Are they about to eat your lunch? Is I think what I want to know. Or is there a chance for I'd call it a friendly coexistence between the boutique retailers on or offline and the big department store, also on, offline, phygital, or will it be war?
I think it will be both. So on one side, obviously they will eat our breakfast, definitely, because they will get bigger, and yeah, they talk a lot about sustainability at the moment. On the other side is our job is to challenge them, and we did that the last, I don't know, 15 years, 20 years, and now we see so they hear what we are saying. So they change completely. Everybody's talking about sustainability. And I think it's our job to challenge them more and more and to get deeper. And we are really not done to change the fashion industry. We are really just at the beginning. And I think our mission is to be really sustainable and not just talking about it. So we have to change a lot of things, and it's just the beginning of it. And I think the green or the sustainable movement, it's our job to challenge the big industry. And I think obviously they will get more of the sustainable market, but we will get more of the conventional market. So I think it's kind of in the food industry. You can buy the organic milk in a very big supermarket, but you also can buy it in a very small organic market. And I think it's kind of this coexistence, which will also be the future in the fashion industry.
I have two more questions for you, Bernd Hausmann. The first one being, how much of an early adopter are men in the sustainable fashion space? Is it still female driven, or are they catching up? What are your experiences?
So yeah, I would say you're totally right. So I would say it's almost women, but when I look to our customers, we have about 30% a man as a customer. But it's definitely the cliche is really right that the more fashionable it is, the more women will buy it. So it's more the basic stuff for the man and the cool things for the women. And we track that and we see that in our data, and it's a little bit frustrating for the man, I would say. And it's we can improve in the fashionable or fashionability. I don't know the word for it. To
Yeah, sounds
not
good.
just
Any strategies to reach out to a male customer base? More ads on Instagram, targeted on man, or I don't know. What can you do?
Um, I think it's also that a lot of brands are not very fashionable in the men industry. It's more classical, it's more basic. So there should be an improvement on the brand side. So it's easier for the man to also buy more fashionable stuff. And obviously for us to offer it different. But we do a lot of adverts and advertising in the segment, and yeah, it's just very difficult to buy the fashionable stuff to the man. So I think it's yeah, it's more a man question than a marketing question.
Mhm. And finally, I read about that that you have been a social worker before becoming a store owner, or as I would say, running an empire, a small empire. Does that in any way inform or encourage or motivate your work as a retailer of sustainable brands? Is there a social conscience that you bring into the selection of your brands?
Yeah, obviously it's that my heart is driven about this idea of working in a sustainable way and acting fair to other people. And I think that's the same philosophy in the social work, and obviously the same philosophy in the business I'm doing now. And so I think, yeah, it's part of my DNA. And yeah, all what you do and what you think, it's obviously coming from there. And to be respectful with the environment and with the people you work, and try to do that in any business you're doing. Yeah.
Sounds great. Sounds like a great match of what you're thinking and what you're doing, and what you're getting paid for, something that we all strive towards doing, and you've clearly found it. Bernd Hausmann of Glore, thank you so much for being so open with us, so generous with your time. I think that wraps up a great interview, and of course, audience, check out Glore and what they can offer. And we'll see you right back here at FFW Studio. Don't go away.